Hey, it's Russ and Lauren right here on the Infectious Groove music channel on YouTube, and it is Vinyl Sunday. Recently, Lauren and I were in Gainesville, Florida, shopping at a record store, and I was minding my business across the store when I heard a gasp. Yeah, literally, just like that. And I was like, at first I was like, what? And then I thought, well, she can't be getting hurt in a record store.
What's gonna happen to me?
Yeah. But I've also, if you're a vinyl collector of any sort, you've done that before where you've seen like the record on the wall, And what's funny is we've spotted so many different things and seen like, my initial thought was like, what could make her gasp like that? Well, it's one of her favorite records of all time by one of her favorite bands of all time. And it's one of those things where you just weren't expecting.
I wasn't looking for it.
And so Picaresque by the Decemberists. I will go into this video. We've done this before where I've said in videos, this is not your thing, right, Lauren? This is not my thing. This is Lauren's thing. I have really nothing against this band. I just, I don't have the affinity for them that you do. But I will say that I can comment on a lot of things to do with this pressing just from vinyl knowledge.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's good though, to have like, we've done that in the past videos before where you have somebody who's a little more objective with the material, and then somebody who absolutely loves it, and that's where we're at with this. Cause I personally in the past on the channel have been like, no, this is the greatest pressing ever. And it's like, no, that's just serviceable because you like it. So we always go through a couple of different points to do with it. Packaging right off the top. I'm just going to give some brief thoughts. My first thing was like, boy, that's some thick cardboard. And the, you have, rice paper sleeves, like, because I don't have a history with this record. I've never owned it on any other format. But the two things as a vinyl person that stuck out was, boy, that's heavy because of the thick cardboard. And then as soon as we opened it, I said out loud, your friends did it right.
My friends did it right.
Yeah. What do you think about the packaging? Because there's more to it that you would know.
Yeah, there's so much more to it. I mean, I had this album came out in 2005 and I 1000% had it on CD. And so a lot of the artwork is the same, but it's a gatefold, right? Because it's a double LP.
Yes.
And the CD booklet,
which they could have stopped there. A lot of things like this, they're just like gatefold. Here's mini prints of the CDs, but they go the extra mile with this.
Yeah, you open the gatefold and then attached to it is like it's a book with all the lyrics and all the imagery and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. You could tell they were very thoughtful with what the album title means and the fact that it's, telling a fantastical story, and they literally turned the packaging into a storybook.
Right, which is cool.
It's so cool.
And again, my vinyl background, I will say this, I've seen that done poorly in the past. With a Black Crowes live album, and believe it or not, with a Christina Aguilera record, the Back to Basics record. Okay. There's a pressing of that and this other Black Crowes record that are they're like bound books, and the LPs are and it was more meant for a thing for you to buy and put on the shelf and never look at. Whereas this is like a regular gatefold, and then they added that book in there in a way that you could flip through it and still enjoy the LP.
Yes.
That's, to me, that's how it
That
looks.
is correct.
As far as sound goes, again, this is a record I'm not familiar with. I will say the vinyl itself sounded quiet. There was no sibilance issues. There was nothing that made me, everything was pressed on center. Like there was no point where I said, oh boy, I bet she's upset we bought this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't thinking any of that. For you, coming from a background of having heard this on CD a ton, I know, because I have to hear this music a lot in the car, that you put it on streaming a lot. What do you think of the sound?
Yeah, well, first of all, they definitely made the right decision not trying to cram this entire album onto one LP, right? And so the album itself takes up the first three sides. And then the fourth side is unreleased material from the recording sessions for this album. And when we were listening to that fourth side, you pointed something out, and I was like, oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's true. The production on the unreleased stuff isn't as good as the rest of the album, but it's like, okay, like I get it.
Right, you get why these songs are got left off. One thing I want to point out too, and again, this is throwing other artists under the bus. I understand how and why other artists do the thing where they put it over two LPs and then there's not enough material, and so I've seen a lot of pressings where they put like an etching on side 4, or they'll just leave side 4 blank. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like I can't play an etching. I'm never going to put it on my wall. Like do this. Give us demos. You know, it doesn't have to be an exhausted list of demos, or give us demos. Give us songs that were left off. And also don't cram it on one LP. Like you go back to the original pressing of The Division Bell by Pink Floyd. not only did they cram it on one LP, but they also edited the songs down on top of that. Don't do that. You know, like with this, it's like, well, this doesn't fit on one LP and it doesn't quite fit on two. So we're going to give you the full record over 3 LPs and then utilize that fourth side. So again, it's funny. I started this whole video being like, I'm not that big of a fan, but I'm saying all these things that are good about
They did
this.
a lot of it right.
Yeah. Price, when we were in the store, in my first thing, because you were holding it first, I said, how much is it? And you said $37, which was local record store tax. You could probably get it for closer to 30 online, which support local business. I didn't mean it that way. We were in a college town with a college record store prices. And my first thought was almost $40 for a double LP. Come on now. Right. But then you handed it to me and I was like, heavy, you know what I mean? Like, so even though I think we overpaid for it a little bit from what you can get it for online. I think that what the price would normally be around $30, you're kind of underpaying for what you get, like for how thick the cardboard is.
That makes sense.
The book that you said, the rice paper inner sleeves. So how do you feel? Like, I know I bought this for you and all, but how do you feel about like the pricing versus the value of what you're getting for that pressing?
Yeah, no, I mean, that absolutely. I agree with literally everything that you said. So, hooray.
Go me. But yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even at $37, I think the cardboard's super thick on the outer sleeve. The vinyl is super quiet. Rice paper inner sleeves. Again, the book, like there's no way to say this where I sound like a jerk. The packaging means nothing to me because I have no background and affinity with this record, but I can see how you would see that and go, oh, that's awesome that they made a storybook out of it. And then my history with vinyl, it's like, and they did it right.
Yep.
Because like one of my favorite bands did it wrong, you know? So that is our little look at the Decemberists reissue of Picaresque. And overall, like I say, for me, I'm not even a huge fan of this band, but I think this is a great value of a pressing to get. And then coming from a huge fan of the band. And then because we have Crane's Wife.
The Crane Wife, the one
and
right
that
after
one
this.
is just, it's a very normal pressing, you know? So this is like a lot fancier.
Yeah,
in
I
my
love
opinion.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So that was our look. If there are, I assume someone somewhere has started a Decemberist Facebook page. By all means, if you're in that, leave our video in the group if you would, please, because that helps share us out. Vinyl videos or forums or anything that you might happen to be in, if you can share our video out, that helps us out a lot. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think of the Decemberists, because Lauren will reply to every single comment that you leave about the Decemberists. At the bare minimum, please drop a like on the video. And if nothing else, we thank you so much for watching.